My name is Dr. Kulbhushan Sasani, working as Assistant Professor from Department of Chemistry, Burgan College Vita, District Sangli, Maharashtra. Today, we are going to discuss mass spectrometry. In that one, we'll discuss topic chemical ionization. Chemical ionization method is a gaseous phase ionization. It is a very soft ionization technique and a very important technique. So in this technique, because of this is a soft ionization technique, fragmentation is less as compared to the electron ionization technique, and because of less fragmentation, intensity of molecular ion peak is increases. So, some molecules like alcohols, ethers, amino acids are highly fragmented in electron ionization method. So that's why for that molecules the chemical ionization method is going to be used. Various steps in chemical ionization. A carrier gas is introduced into the ionization chamber. There is a ionization source is present. That ionization source produces certain temperature and particular pressure. That is a 1 torr pressure is there. Because of that temperature and pressure, the carrier gas, which will be methane, isobutane or amino acid, going to be ionized, and they produces the primary ions, which is shown as follows. If you see the equations here, we take a methane as a carrier gas. That methane bombarded with a one electron, that will be comes from the beam of electron which is present in the ionization chamber through the tungsten filament. Because of that bombardment, methane going to be ionized as follows and gives the radical molecular ion, which is shown as, and two electrons, one electron from the beam of electron, and because of that bombardment of electron, methane lost one electron. So that two electrons shown in that equation. Again, the radical molecular ion again undergoes fragmentation and lost another one proton to get a stable form and produces CH3 plus positively charged molecular ion. So the both ions CH3 plus and CH4 plus radical molecular ion, nothing but a primary ion. And next, these primary ions again react with a excessive carrier gas which will be already present in the ionization source, and they produces the secondary ions with their reactions, that is again shown as follows. Again CH4 molecular ion radical react with excessive methane carrier gas, and they gives CH5 plus positively charged molecular ion plus CH3 plus radical. So CH3 plus and again positively charged ion react with excessive methane, and that produces C2H5 plus positively charged molecule and H2 gas. So CH5 plus and C2H5 plus are nothing but a secondary ions. And finally, these secondary ions these secondary ions react with our analyte or sample to produces the ionization by three ways. The first way is by proton transfer, the second way is hydride transfer, and the third one is nothing but by electrophilic addition. We'll see one by one. The first one is the proton transfer. So M stand for the molecule analyte or the sample which will be introduced for the analysis, plus CH5 plus are secondary ions or secondary ions with the, then they produces M plus H plus C2H6. So that M plus H is stand for the quasi-molecular ion. So this is a simple proton transfer. Because of this proton transfer, molecular weight of our compound or analyte or sample increases by 1. So suppose we introduce the compound having the molecular weight 125. So by this process we'll get a peak M by E peak at a 126. Next one, hydride transfer. When our molecule or analyte react with the C2H5 plus ion, that gives you M minus 1 M minus 1 molecular ion peak plus C2H6. So hydride transfer generally takes place in case of carboxylic acid and alkanes. And the third, because of this, the molecular weight of our compound is reduced by the 1. Suppose our compound having the molecular weight 120, so by this process will receive the M by E peak at 119. The third one is electrophilic addition, in which the molecule or analyte or sample is react with a CH3 plus radical, and there is an addition of that particular molecular weight into that compound. Okay, now move towards the next, that is the field desorption ionization technique. As I told you, it involves direct conversion of solid or liquid into the gaseous ions or vapor ions. In this technique, low volatile and the samples are used to produce the stable molecular ions. So generally, less volatile compounds are going to be analyzed with this method. So this is the simple diagram for the field desorption ionization technique. So if you look at this diagram, there is an anode is present, which is made up of tungsten metal emitter. So above the tungsten metal emitter there are small needles like structure called as carbon microneedle. If you look at the above, there is a cathode also is present. The potential difference between this anode and cathode is 10 raised to 7 to 10 raised to 8 volt per centimeter. So if you describe the diagram, we say that this is the simple block diagram that contains the anode and which is made up of tungsten metal emitter. Again, this tungsten metal emitter, there are carbon microneedles are present, and that microneedles produces high potential gradient. Okay, so one cathode will be there. As I told you, the potential difference again, we know that there is a 10 raised to 7 to 10 raised to 8 volt per centimeter. So the question is, how sample will be applied? We know that if sample is in a solid form, we can dissolve that solid sample into the any solvent, and then we going to be used. If sample is a liquid, then we can directly use that liquid sample. So simple way, by dipping the microneedles which is present on the tungsten metal emitter into that liquid sample or the dissolved solid sample, we can easily go for the next process. The tip of the microneedles are very sharp and it will produce high voltage potential. Again, because of this sharp tip, it will produce the high voltage gradient. Due to the effect of high gradient voltage, there will be production of the ion or molecular ions by these two mechanisms. First one is nothing but a field ionization, and second one is the cation attachment. Look at the first one, the field ionization. In this mechanism, electron will be removed from the analyte or sample or molecule in high electric field. So simply, in this technique, high electric field is going to be used. So it will produce M plus ion along with some electrons. In second one, if you look at the cation attachment, the cation will be attached with the analyte molecule, that is the H plus or Na plus, sodium plus. These are nothing but cations generally going to be used. So ionization will take like this. So this is nothing but equations for the cation attachment ionization. Again, these M plus or M plus H positive ions goes further towards the mass analyzer. These ions contains insufficient internal energy for fragmentation, so there will no another fragmentation takes place, and these ions directly goes into the mass analyzer. and we'll get a peak for quasi-molecular ion and we'll get a stable molecular ion peak in this technique. Okay, so we'll discuss about, already we talked about the chemical ionization method and all the aspects related to the chemical ionization method. Thank you.